one of the cruelest aspects of this illness for me is that what was energizing for me when I was healthy is beyond energy depleting now. And so I have to, in some ways, reinvent myself because I've always been very driven. I've always had a ton of stamina, been relentless, whether it was in sports or my work. And a good example is that I'm vlogging now. Well, when I was working as a consultant, I had a professional blog. And I was really motivated because even though I was working to get my business going like 60 hours a week, I did this blog and I was posting once a week because I had a contract to do this and I had to do weekly. And I would but I had boundless energy, and if I had to stay up late because of deadline, I'd do it, and then I'd still go see a client the next day and I'd be, fresh as a daisy. And, your adrenaline rush gets you through and you maybe go to sleep a little earlier the next night, but you're fine then. You don't pay a long-term price. Whereas now with this whole idea of post-exertional malaise, if you overexert, you pay a huge price. And on top of that, it doesn't take much to overexert. So I did the blog. It was fantastic. It was a total rush too because it got a lot of traction. I had maybe 500 people a day. There were days where my article would be picked up and I'd got 10,000 people checking it out. It was a total rush. And I wanted that attention because I wanted to build my business. And I did. I got speaking engagements all over the country. And I got consulting gigs. So it was paying for itself, the time that I was putting in, because I wasn't getting paid very much. It was peanuts. But the exposure was really fantastic. And now I'm doing this vlog with a different mission. My mission is to not shine a spotlight on me, but on my new life. And a life that sadly so many millions of people are experiencing in one way or another. And just, that idea of making the invisible visible. But the problem is I'm still that same person. I'm all juiced. The juices are flowing, but there are no juices. So I'm getting adrenaline rushes that give me a false sense of I have the energy, and I'm always about pushing through, and I'm always about getting the task done and doing something like this vlog, which is so open-ended. But my mindset is hurting me. My mindset is, I have to get this all out there today. Like, what if I miraculously am cured tomorrow? Then I can't do this, and I wouldn't have fulfilled my mission. I mean, it's just so, it's so convoluted the way I think about it, and it's just not, and it's killing me. I mean, the energy I'm putting forth talking to you right now is energy I really don't have. I really don't have. So I have to, my therapist and I were working on this. I meet with him weekly, and asked him to meet with me emergency for a second session last week because this was just, it's self-defeating, it's self-inflicted, this. And and I said, maybe I just should give up the vlog. And he's like, well, I don't think that's the answer necessarily. And especially knowing you're still going to obsess over it and think about it. Right. So why, put it out there? He said, you just have to, I said, maybe I just have to work on not being compulsive. He said, wouldn't even say that. You're not going to change that at this point. He said, it's more really just how can you be who you are within the parameters? How can you, the line he said to me, you know, I think he said don't necessarily strive to get rid of your compulsivity, but work on your reaction to it.
Yeah.
So that seemed like a good goal. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this illness sucks, but I'm bringing on a lot worse. Just because I'm being who I've always been, and it served me well in the past.
Right.
It got me those speaking engagements. It got me this, consulting gigs. And I was able to sustain a business for 16 years.